Hey, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's a beautiful day, and I can't even tell you how much good news I have to share with you guys tonight. Like, it's everywhere.
I hope it's good news.
Absolutely everywhere. It's all good news. And if you want, at the end, if you remember, ask me why it's all good news, and I'll tell you. Anyway, let's welcome everybody in. Farm Ranch Homestead was the first one in. Good evening to you. Android Homestead, welcome in. Starla Doak, I hope you're feeling well. Beth Emily, good to see you. Barbara, hello. Carrie Davis, how are you? Terminator, how is the Terminator tonight? My friend Skane's Girl's in the house. Gratitude to Grace. Welcome in. One step closer. Long time no see, my friend. Silver Lining, good to see you. The greatest name on the internet.
Bubba Lufflum.
It's in the house. How are you? Aljo, good evening. Let's go down here a little bit. LJC, how are you, my friend? The famous Life with Mike and Jen. That's guarantee is Jen. Good evening. My good buddy Mo, how are you, my friend? My buddy Redneck's in the house. Bonnie, how are you from Central Florida? Oops.
Florida.
Hey, JB, good evening to you as well. All right, I think I'm fairly caught up. So we've been busy. There's a lot going on the home. Pack Rat, welcome in, my friend. Mary Michelle, welcome in as well. There's a lot going on here. We are about as busy as we could be. We've had lots of visitors, lots of guests. Obviously the gardens are full blown, trying to get a community building built. There's a barn I'm trying to get going in. There's just, so much stuff, but life's good. You can't complain that you're eating when what you wished for was your plate, To be full. I mean, you just, that's just the way it works. But Spags Unfilters, what's up, my buddy? Mossy Oak Parrot, welcome in. And the beautiful MJ from Wisconsin, welcome in as well. So you want to start with your farm stuff?
My farm stuff?
What do you want to talk about that's not, I don't have in the slideshow? Nope, that one.
Well, we live the same life, so.
You would think. Except we don't, because your life exists of all these sparkles that rainbow farts and all that shit. So
yeah, that's true. Well, we have a bunch of folks in town. We have even people who have lived here for a while that we get to meet and hang out with, and we've got 39 people getting together tomorrow for a late lunch. Mm-hmm. So we get to meet new people. We get to...
Yeah, we have a husband and wife and 2 kids coming from down south up to visit us. We have another husband and wife coming up to visit us for the community. And then we have a local family who I've known for a while, but not really super involved in the community, not really even community members, but want to get involved.
Kind of neighbors.
Yeah, and they'll be attending for the first time as well. So we'll have lots to... learn and, to kind of go through. And it's pretty exciting for me to see how this community just continues to explode. And I'm not even trying. You guys notice I haven't done a lot of land videos, and that's on purpose. No. It's by design. And, but it just still continues to explode, which is cool. Speaking of cool, will be cool is in the house. How are you, Dorothy Holloway? Hello, Karen. Welcome in. Did I miss anybody up there? Oh, I cannot forget. Royalty, the king himself, Jeff Juicy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon is in the house tonight from the beautiful Whiting, Kansas. Yep, Jules, welcome in. I think I've seen you. Yep, okay, I think I'm caught up. Anyway, so we got a community dinner tomorrow. That'll be cool. I'll also have some of these families at my house for a good part of the day tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about community, and I'm sure we're going to be looking at solar systems and water systems and the gardens and the food forests and, all of those kind of things. So my day will get, pretty filled up pretty quick. I would imagine, tomorrow. So, and I'm going to try to get up early so I can get some stuff done before everybody gets here.
Well, I've got somebody coming up at 8 to drop off some chicks.
Of course you do.
You
don't need any more chicks.
I was gifted some chicks. And
anybody want some chicks?
And some baby guineas. So they'll be here at 8 a.m. We'll be up and ready to find a place, a home for them. I did end up letting the mom that had the babies in the turkey coop, I ended up opening the door for her because I shut the door to keep the other birds out of there so that she wasn't having to chase them off every time they were coming in.
Mhm.
So I shut the door quite a while ago, and I was just feeding them and watering them in there. Well, I did. She was like pacing at the door. So I opened the door, and so all of the first round of birds have already been out and have been running around by themselves. Those last 3 little ones are the last ones in there. And I went ahead and opened the door. So they're running around actually the mom is chasing other birds around the yard. So she's like, hey, here's some food. And then she's like chasing birds away from it.
Mm.
So they have a long night ahead of them.
Hey, my buddy Indiana Mike's in the house. Indiana, appreciate all you do, bud. Joseph G, welcome in. Android Homestead says, working on being a Kansas resident in the Bellevue area, already have a small house in town, working on finding some acreage outside of town. Well, we need to hang out. That's what I think. So,
Do you know where that's at?
of course I do. Jen Botho, good evening to you as well. Okay, sorry, cut up. I just want to make sure to say hello,
Yeah.
everybody gets in. So,
Yep.
Yeah, so the farm's going 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
You also wanted to real quick. Maybe we should wait till we see her in here if she comes in here.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll wait to do
So
that.
yeah, let's just keep going.
Okay, so lots of harvesting going on. So B, what you got going on here?
That is one little tiny sliver of the elderberries.
Yeah, that.
So I have a trash bag full of elderberries. Trash bag, not like the Walmart sack, but like a 13-gallon trash bag full of elderberries in the freezer. And I have a stock pot of elderberries in the refrigerator. I have this bowl. And then I have 2 1-gallon jars of elderberries and honey fermenting on the counter. I have elderberries still in the bushes. And unfortunately, I have a 6-gallon bucket of elderberries on the kitchen counter that is molded. I feel horrible about the ones that just molded. I was like, I'm going to get to you. Just hang on. I even move it to the coldest part of the house, put a towel over it, try to keep the fruit flies out, try to keep it chilled or cooler, the coolest part. And the moisture in there and the lack of circulation has caused that. I should have just laid them out.
Yeah.
And then they could have just
they're going moldy
dehydrated.
because of the lack of circulation.
Well, because it's in a 6-gallon bucket on the counter with the towel over it.
Yeah, they're going moldy because you didn't tend to them.
Yeah, well, I mean,
no excuses. It just is what it is.
That's like the long story. I'm like elderberries coming out the wazoo.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have been blessed with an abundance of elderberries this year.
Yeah, it's been nice, and I'm looking forward to maybe someday getting a waffle out of the deal. What's the other picture?
That is some saffron bulbs that I was
Gifted?
very, very pleasantly surprised to find. Yes, now I'm Googling saffron videos, like what to do with them, how to plant them, when to plant them, all of the info. Yeah, so the elderberries, I have a trash bag full of elderberries in the freezer waiting for you to get here.
Yeah, so there's silver lining.
That's why I said, like, I really wish you were here right now, man. I really wish you were here right now.
Yeah.
And I did. The fork does work. You freeze them, you fork them. It's not hard. You just have to have the time. You just have to take the time to do it.
Hey, I wanted to say welcome into Dana Green and Nitos. How are you, my friend? And I think that I'm 100% caught up. Jen wants you to know that to not feel bad with all the arnica, chamomile, plantain, and comfrey infusions that she has going on.
Mm.
And Karen says, I feel you, B. I've got things in my basement too, thinking I need a harvest fridge. Crocus. Yeah. Yeah. Pack Rat says, silver lining, that's what we do for the stopgap too. Carrie Davis says, my chickens love elderberries.
So can you feed elderberries raw to chickens? Because
Well, I doubt she's cooking them. I doubt she's making them waffles.
I don't know. Maybe she's throwing them after she uses them.
Maybe she actually makes waffles and elderberry syrup.
That's what I have the stock pot of elderberries in the fridge.
Yeah.
Getting ready
What
to
did you
make
have them in the bucket for? I mean, my point is, just because you have them in the bucket or you have them in the fridge, that doesn't mean they're waffles and syrup.
No, I have to now cook them. I have now I've taken them off of the vine. I have washed them. I have stuck them in the pot. Now I have to cook them.
And I'm going to be a billionaire as soon as I make $1 billion. Someday.
Do you have $1 billion in your fridge?
No.
Then I'm closer.
Yeah. LJC says, I doubt she's making them waffles. Yeah. Gary says, I feed them all natural.
That is good to know
Yeah.
because I will give them a few.
Life with Mike and Jen says, the steam juicer works fantastic for that. Do you have a steam juicer?
I have 2.
Oh, you do? You have 2?
I just don't. I've never.
Have you ever used them?
No, I need a
But
video.
where'd you get them?
You just bought them for me. As soon as she said that last time, you went out and bought one.
Yeah. How long ago?
I think it was probably last harvest.
For Christmas, pumpkin.
Was it Christmas?
Yeah.
It was Christmas.
Thank you. That's why. Welcome to the party.
Good job. I'm shocked that you remember that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Karen says, tag, you're being mean to be again. Stop it.
He is being kind of rude, isn't he?
Yeah. Starla says, if I've been eating any squash.
Have you?
No.
You haven't had any squash?
Well, you tried to mix some in dinner the other night. There was a little bit in there. I don't remember what we had. Spaghetti or something that you were hiding it in. I know.
No, it was like rice. Oh, it was potatoes and corn.
Okay, but
and sausage.
But you did hide it in there.
Like the tube sausage.
Yeah, you did hide it in there, and I did notice.
I didn't hide it.
Yeah, gratitude for Grace says score 1 for B.
I just cut it small.
Yeah, will be cool says American elderberries raw aren't poisonous like the European ones are. Farm Ranch says, B, do you freeze the elderberries before stripping them from the stems? Does that make it easier?
Some of them I did freeze. Some of them I did not. And yes, it does make it easier.
My wife has decided, Packrat says, that she needs a tractor. Oh my goodness, have I been through this world? What kind of tractor does B have? We bought a Bobcat tractor, and the main reason I like the Bobcat over the other ones that we looked at is it's got a lever in the back that raises and lowers the 3-point. So you don't have to do it from inside the cab. You can do it outside while you're there messing with it. I just love that convenience.
He's hoping that I can hook it up by myself.
Exactly. Squash hidden in muffins.
Not yet.
So or at least that I know. A really inexpensive tractor is what we need. Small with hydrostatic transmission. You know, I don't know about, I don't think the old 8Ns have hydrostatic transmissions, but those things are, pretty bulletproof. Jen says, I took a sausage making class Wednesday. It was so much fun. Baking class is next.
Oh.
That's what we need to do here, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
So she'll know how to do that.
What you got there, pumpkin?
That is an Abe Lincoln tomato.
Yeah.
And that thing is massive.
Looks like a cantaloupe.
Nope. That is not.
They're sort of the size of a cantaloupe. At least.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, your tomatoes are we're about to have more tomatoes and we're going to know what to do with.
I'm fixing to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
My elderberry problem is getting ready to morph into a tomato problem.
Mm-hmm. How many of them are going to rot away because we don't take care of them?
I don't know.
What's the percentage, would you guess?
I don't know. I'm not even going there. All things happen for a reason.
Yeah, my sister made fake pineapple from zucchini. She makes zucchini brownies, chocolate cake, and jam. That actually sounds good. We have a 90% of an old 9N, but it's gnarly and a bit too much for her to drive. Jules says, I was told I need to get property before I can have a tractor. That's good advice. Tulip Little Angel, how are you? Welcome in. Said Edible Acres has elderberry trees growing in her chicken yard. So the bees eat the fruit that drops and the trees provide shade for the birds.
Very good.
Love that. Haha. Karen says chickens eat tomatoes too.
Yeah, so it's food for us or our animals.
Yeah, why did that pop up twice? Jules said it twice. It must have been important. I agree with both of them. Both times you said it. All right, let's take the next three.
Yeah.
What you got there?
That's the same. That's Abe Lincoln.
That's an Abe Lincoln too?
Yep. And that is not oblong. That's completely round.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Leela, how are you? It says, what a wonderful problem to have with your produce. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
What are those?
Is the sweet potatoes.
Yep.
You see the bald spots? That's where the dogs lay.
Yeah. Well, at least they're not molding,
No, they're not.
right?
No,
I mean, look, the dogs have saved you from a molding produce problem.
no, they just want to lay there. Sometimes they lay up on top of the hay bales. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That they can get
Yeah.
up on top of the hay bales.
Hey, RN is in the house. How are you? Welcome in. Skanes Girl says, howdy. I missed, howdy to all I missed. I got kicked out. Uh-oh, well, that's not good. Yeah, Dana Green says, wow. Yeah, we've got I think we'll have a nice sweet potato harvest at some point for sure. All right. What do you got there?
That is the corn.
That's corn.
There's actual cobs on there too. Did you see that other corn that was planted? It did not get any taller, and there's little tiny ears on there.
Mm-mm. Truth is, babe, I spend almost no time in your garden.
Yeah.
You know, it's Friday and we have a live, so I drive around and take pictures of where things are, and I haven't been in there since the week before. You know.
So when you get in there the next week, are you like, holy cow?
Yeah, like I noticed.
Are you like, oh my gosh, she's got stuff molding everywhere?
Yep. No, I don't even know it was molded until you said something. If you'd have said everything's perfect and I had it all harvested and it was all put away on time and we got 100%, I'd been like high-fiving you.
Yeah.
But then you've been lying. So
Yeah.
that might have been bad.
Yeah. Right on top of that, Rose.
All right. What are those dark things hanging there?
That's more elderberries.
More elderberry.
So those are, yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bundles just right there.
Yeah. And you guys look in the background way back there, there's the community building. See it all the way back in the back?
Oh, it sure is.
Hey, Traw54, how are you? And Luis Wesley, hello, just finished farm chores. Does that mean that Jeff was in the house before you and he didn't help you finish chores, Lou? Well, he is the king, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what's going on. All right. What else we got going on here? What are those?
Cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 17 right there in that one plant.
Mm-hmm.
They're all at the top.
Yeah.
The sides. I counted 17. And excuse me, they're all going to ripen probably at the same time.
Yep.
So you are going to have plenty of cantaloupe to eat.
Mm.
You like that though, right?
I do. I actually like cantaloupe with cottage cheese. It's probably my favorite way to eat it.
So favorite way to eat cantaloupe?
Cantaloupe. Mm. Gypsy said, we're just now leaving the farm, headed to the skid house. Yeah, good for you guys. Yeah, I had some fun with Lou, and I guess I'll tell you about when we get to their we poured a footing out at their house, but I had some fun. Try to help me remember when we get there, because it was fun. Well, it was fun for me. I don't think she had as much fun, but I did. What are those?
That is the IBC totes we got. What did he bring? 6? No, there was 16 on the trailer and 2 in the truck.
Yeah, I don't know, but I found a source for these. These had lactic acid in them. They're in pretty good shape. These aren't as clean as the last ones we got as far as being washed out.
Yeah.
But they only had lactic acid in them. So,
gotta rinse them.
But we found them for $25 a piece. So at that price, I can afford to get rid of the bladder and use them for firewood. I can afford to whatever we decide to do with them. I need a bunch of them for the Wallapini, but it ain't even close to being on my list of stuff to do. So
no, but we need to collect 30 of them for the Wallapini design, right? So,
but I got time. I bet you I've got 10 cords of wood stacked on the, split and stacked in a pile on the ground somewhere, but this was a good deal. The whole bunch of the community people got together and bought a bunch of them. I just got 10, but there was a bunch that was purchased. And I think this is just one load. I think we still got probably 1 or 2 more loads still coming of these. But because, again, I ordered 10. I know another homestead ordered 10. And then a bunch of them ordered, 2 or 4, or whatever it is. Packrat says that's a grand price. Yeah. Yeah. That's also being able to the power of buying in bulk. Right. The only reason I could get that deal is because would buy so many of them.
Would you buy like 30?
36. 36 total. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And that was great.
Yeah. So this is footing that we poured at another homestead this week. And this is a footing for a metal building that's coming and put in. And I got to tell you guys a little bit of backstory. So this is King, Jeff, Juicy, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon, and the beautiful Lou. This is their footing. And so anyway, we go out there and we're going to get it poured. And we had been trying to get it poured for a good couple of weeks, but the rain kept coming and we just couldn't get to it. And we just kept trying and kept trying. And then so we finally had it scheduled on a day. We didn't think there was going to be a lot of rain. And so I'm out there, I head out there to his farm, and I were just walking around looking at things. And me and Jeff are standing there, and Lou calls, and I told Jeff quietly, I said, tell her that nobody can make it today, and Tag is running late in his meeting.
That's mean. So like he's doing it on his own?
Yeah. And so
what'd she say?
She told
cancel it?
No, he said to Lou, told her Lou the story, and she says, oh no, what do we do? Or something like that. And he couldn't hold it for very long. So
I thought with 100 hours on his tractor, surely he would have mowed around there.
Yeah, maybe, huh? Yeah. RN wants to know, how are you using the tanks in the Wallapini? So the design that I got has them lined up against the back wall, painted black and full of water. So that's where they're supposed to go. But again, that is not even, I haven't even begun thinking about the process of a Wallapini. But so you guys know that how, and I've told you guys this many, many times on a live, that when you pour concrete, always have something extra.
Yep.
Because you're either going to have not enough concrete or you're going to have too much concrete.
Yeah.
The chances of being able to figure that on not perfectly level ground, even though the top of the footing is level, the bottom you've got, it's all over the map, and so it's so hard to get it right. And so they did a fabulous job of being ready for the pour. They had 3 extra things sitting there, and I'll kind of share that with you.
And this is the short side of the footing. Did you get a picture of the other side?
That's the long side.
The tall.
Oh yeah, this is the short side. The other
Short
side's tall.
side.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's the only one in here. Yeah. So he had built a pad out in front of 2 different shipping containers, which would be the picture on the far right and the far left, and then also built a little form to make little blocks out of for anything that was extra. And we managed to get all of that poured on top of the footings. And I always look at it like free concrete, because at the end of the day, you got to order it anyway, and you can just pour it on the ground,
dump it on the ground,
or you can have somewhere for it to go. But in the end, now his shipping containers, he can step up on a concrete block. We broom finished it so that it had a little bit of texture, so it wouldn't slip. But it all came out really, really good. And I'll tell you guys, back to the footing thing real quick. This was probably the easiest footing pour I've ever poured.
No kidding. It was like
an
hour.
Yeah, we poured 18 yards of concrete, and we had really no problems. There was one top board that we could see starting to split. We quickly added a brace to it, and it was over.
Band-aided it.
Yeah, but it was fine. But this was the easiest pour that I've ever been part of. It went quick. It went smooth. We didn't have any problems. The truck showed up at good increments.
The drivers knew what they were doing.
The drivers knew what they were
doing.
That was the
thing, because the drivers are like, if they're sitting there and they're watching you in their mirror,
Yeah.
and you're like, go, stop, more, go, stop, more, or they're predicting like, go, 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 okay, stop.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Or you get some guys that just don't.
Stephanie Terry, welcome in. How are you? Yeah, but anyway, when is about as good as it's going to get, and
it looks nice.
Looks nice. They're good to go. I don't know how far they got on dismantling the forms today, but
is that what they're doing?
Probably be my guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
The inside.
I have a hard time managing me.
Yeah.
Let alone what everybody else is doing. But there's a bunch of work to be done in there. A lot of backfill to do. That grass has got to get out of there. It's got to all get leveled off, and then we'll get working on that. It will,
because he's going to drive in there as soon as he's.
Yep, as soon as it's hard enough to do it, we'll get in there. Anyway, so I thought today I'd take you guys back through the community building, kind of from the beginning, and just show you guys some pictures. And for me, I think it's neat to know that, on March the 20th, we decided that we would break ground on the community building. And, there's a lot of dirt work to do, a lot of concrete work to do, plumbing to do. I mean, there's a million stories in it, but I thought I'd just show you guys some pictures. So this is a very early picture as we were building the footings and kind of just running through a little bit of the plumbing. And, there's your first big pour on top of the pad, and, getting rebar ready and, getting ready to pour. And then we poured that first pad, right? And that's, you can see there's community members out there. trying to get it up and finished. And there's the third pad, for the floor of the community building. Then I had to build this footing out front to hold the big trees that you guys know are now in front of, excuse me, the community building. Then we had to build a wall in the back because this hill slopes and this building sits into the hill a little bit, and so it needed a concrete retaining wall. So we started building it. It had to curve around the corner. That was a little bit complicated, but it wasn't long, and we had poured all that concrete, and that was a nervous pour for me. My stomach was in knots.
Well, we didn't know if with the pressure, we didn't know if it was going to come out the bottom. So you were going to pour it and try to put a cap on it and pour it and put a cap on it and pour it and put a cap on it to keep it from.
But it worked out good.
We ended up not needing any of that. We were overthinking it.
Well, and typically I'm nervous for no reasons, but the pours like this make me nervous.
Because it's.
Well, could you imagine what would happen if the bottom of that exploded out two sides in the middle of all of this? I mean, that's $2,500 in concrete.
We did on this first side right here where I'm standing. That's where.
Well, it got a little.
It swelled
a little bit, but it didn't blow out.
It did not blow out,
which was good
because we were watching it.
So as you can see, that's after the forms were all removed and the pads are all in, and so now after this stage right here, it's pretty much ready to build. You can see that little gotcha right there on that corner. I've repaired that, and it looks. You can't even tell I had to do anything to it,
and that'll be above ground.
It's above ground anyway, right? So then we started framing walls, which is pretty cool and pretty quick. All the walls were up, and
the walls were up fast.
Yeah, well, they always go fast, And got that done. We started booming the trusses. We had community day, and you guys know I've done videos on it, and they came out and kept on just trucking on pretty quick. We got the trees set up front, and I still got one I want to move, but they're all in there pretty good. Yep. Then start getting into the ceiling. We get the plywood up on the roof, the fascia and the soffit begins. I start thinking about the inside. I'm going to support this beam with these two trees. I haven't got them cut exactly perfect because they're actually going to slide up underneath there, but I want to make sure they're sitting exactly the way I want them to sit before I cut the tops off. Because there's no room for error once I cut that top off, there's no more room for error. So it has to be sitting exactly where I want it. So it'll take me a little while to get that right. Start house wrapping, start putting in windows. We put the metal roof on. So the roof's completely on, all the soffit and fascia's in. The rake flashing's on, the ridge caps are on. All the
doors.
Yeah, got a few doors in, got a few windows in. Yeah, this is what it looks like in the inside, all kind of closed in. As you guys can see on the bottom of all the walls, there's blocking in there. And what that's for is I'm going to put tin halfway up. And that's so that when I put the tin in, I have something to screw to. So we got through all of that. This ought to be a nice big room so we can have some community time. Just the community side, not counting the kitchen and all that, the community side is 20 feet wide and 63 feet long. So it ought to be plenty of room. We've been working on getting the concrete board up underneath on the overhang, which has been going on recently. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at on the community building. Again, I've got lots of work to do, and we'll continue to get to it. I'm actually hoping to get work done on it tomorrow because, to kind of be honest, everybody, I've done almost no work on this building in a week. So I just haven't had time. As you look, there's just a little bit done up underneath there, but there's just not a lot. So again, I'm hoping to get it done. And then B and I had a little bit of a surprise I wanted to tell you guys about, which is pretty neat. We have a good buddy of ours who's an older guy. He's the guy who built my pond. But anyway, he's got a bulldozer, and he likes to help out. He likes to do those kinds of things. And so he showed up the other day and said, "Hey, I want to work on your pond." And he's not my big pond, my little pond. So him and I broke the dam. If you guys remember, I did a video on this of us breaking the dam of the little pond 2 years ago. And
you did a video of him doing it?
Yeah, because remember the excavator fell into the hole and it was all sitting all crooked, and we had it was a mess. Remember? Anyway, so it's been sitting for 2 years. And he wants to clean it out, and so we're going to make it a much bigger pond. Yeah, we're going to clean the bowl out and all that stuff. But I thought I'd show you guys some interesting pictures. Yeah. I'm sitting on where I'm parked is the top of the dam, and as you can see, the slope that runs down to the right, that's as deep as the pond was. Because this pond was 80 years old. And so the sediment and all of that has been filling it for 80 years. So it had got to a point where it was nothing really more than a, mosquito. Puddle. It was a puddle that grew mosquitoes, but it never went dry.
Looks like it's like 2 feet deep.
Yeah, it's like 2 feet. Well, probably less than a foot deep, would be my guess. But anyway, so he cleaned all the grass and everything out of it. So
Isn't that crazy how we were like, how long is it going to take to dry? Because we didn't know how deep it was.
Yeah.
And then, it's dry. It's dry.
It's dry. Yeah. And as you guys can see, this is just him cleaning it out, but it's just not very deep. So we're going to clean this whole pond out. I'm super excited. We're going to make it much, much, much bigger because at the end of the day, water storage is gigantic. And I'll come back to this point later on with a story that I'm going to tell you guys about water in England, actually. So we're going to get this all cleaned out. He don't work a lot. He works a little here and a little there, but I can't really complain, right? So anyway, Sharon Stocks in the house says, hey guys, glad to see you. Gardening started to come in Wyoming. Just living life. Thank you, Lord. 1 month smoke free. Congratulations to you. Everybody give a round of applause.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So anyway, we're looking forward to getting the pond done, and I'm looking forward to getting the barn in. I'm looking forward to getting the community building done. I'm looking forward to all of the things my wife seems to think is critical in in our world today.
Yep.
You got any comments to all that? Because I went through that all fast. I did it on purpose because I have a ton of slides.
It looked great. It looked great. And the pond, I want to go up there and see it. Because that's been that's never been dry before, though.
It's never been dry.
Why? If it's so low, because it gets so much runoff.
It gets a lot of runoff, but not just that. There was trees all the way around it that kept it in the shade the whole time. Yeah. So it's in the shade and it gets a ton of runoff. This is why it would never
dry out. Yeah,
would never dry out. Look at all those. Congratulations. Dana Green, congratulations, right? Farm Ranch Homestead, congratulations. Skins Girl says, looking good. I'm busy making pie crusts. Awesome. For that, Jen. Congratulations. Leela says, Sharon Stock, you go, girl.
You go, girl.
Yep. Good job, Sharon says, Pack Rat. Yep. You guys are awesome. We got the best community anywhere on the internet. I'll tell you that 100% for sure. So, yeah, look at that. LJC says, congrats. Yeah. Nito says, congrats. Look at all that. Yeah. Well, I hope, Sharon, that it makes you feel loved. Yep. Terminator. Congrats. Look at that. Yeah. I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. So what else on the farm? Because I kind of went through everything I haven't been doing nothing this week, truthfully, on the farm, but right. I just haven't got anything done. Today I tried. Kelly May, welcome. And she says, congratulations, as does RN.
Yeah.
Today I got up all motivated. Like I had one meeting today I was going to get into at 12:30 with some other Freedom Farm Academies across the country. And I did that. Raced out, thought, okay, I'm gonna get on my skid steer. So I got my skid steer, trying to do some backfilling, and just didn't get much to it. And off to the next quest, and then off to the next quest, and then B wants to go eat because Friday nights, because we have the live, she don't usually cook dinner on Friday night.
We were gonna go have dinner with somebody.
Yeah, but typically we don't do much dinner on Friday nights typically. So we raced around and we did that, and then raced back to get into the live. But tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'm gonna get at it.
I thought we had company.
Not first thing in the morning.
I have no idea what.
So I'm gonna blast the morning out till about 11 or noon, and then we'll meet some new people, and then we'll go have a big lunch. And
I thought you were entertaining all day, is what I was told.
I don't think it's all day.
Okay.
So I think I've got 3 or 4 or 5 hours in the morning. If I get up early, I can knock it out.
It doesn't matter. We'll just go with the flow.
Yep. I love that. So what's coming up for you for your week? What do you got coming up this next week?
Elderberries. Probably tomatoes, because I don't know if you saw on there was quite a few of the little black beauties. They start black and then they turn like a deep red. Mm-hmm. I've got quite a few of those, but they're the size of, I'm not a fan of the Sweet 100s. They're too big to put in your mouth all at one time. And when you bite them, then they squirt. So you got to cut them or put it in your mouth and bite it and then keep your lips closed. Anyway.
Is that a struggle for you?
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes they're, pretty big. And you're not a fan of eating just raw tomatoes, right? I'm not. So you won't eat won't even eat them on a sandwich. You won't eat it with a little bit of salt.
I like them on a sandwich. I like them on tacos. I like them on things. I love salsa.
That is not the same thing.
Well, Hey, All American Preppers in the house. How are you? Yeah. It says, hey, everyone, I'm going to pray about it, but I might just have to move up there. We have a great community up here.
We do have a great community.
Yeah. Terminator says, last week I butchered 24 chickens, replaced the door on the back of my barn, and I've been canning steady. I've also got 200 pounds of potatoes to can. I'm canning all my veggies this year. Good for you. We see tomatoes are about played out here, made lots and lots of sauce, found a few I won't grow again, and 3 that I definitely will. Yeah, super cool. Grateful Hearts Ranch, by the way, welcome in as well. All American Prep says, I'm a hard worker and be security for the community if ever needed. Yeah, well, the good news is, All American Prepper about that, we got a whole bunch of military people up here. Whole bunch.
Yep.
We are in great shape.
But you can't go wrong with too much security.
Amen to that. Yeah. LJC wants to know why Terminator's canning everything. Well, because they got a long winter. And they got a long winter. They're in the cold a lot longer than we are, typically down here.
It's just only so much squash you can eat.
Mike says, All American Prepper in Northeast Kansas. Sounds like a great time. Yep, the fan club comes out. Which is pretty cool. Yep, we make a whole bunch of soap for you as a warming gift. If you buy bagged soil, be very, very careful of invasive insects. Yeah, we try not to buy stuff like that. We try really hard to make our own and
well, we bought mulch.
You did buy some mulch this year. Well, normally we wouldn't.
Not normally, but we did.
We didn't. The chippers weren't up in our part of the year, our part of the country this year. So.
And I just didn't.
And you needed some, so
I couldn't go just make it yet.
Yep. Well, you could have.
I did not have the time to do that.
But imagine how many of your elderberries would have molded had you made mulch.
More. No, I'm going to have plenty of elderberry stuff this year.
Terminator says, my sweet potato vines are growing like crazy. I'm excited. First time ever growing them. We got to get potatoes out of the ground.
Yeah.
Right? Because our potatoes are ready to harvest. And our sweet potatoes, when we harvest those? Because your vines are nice.
Yeah, not
September.
Now. The potatoes, though, like I've been feeding those potatoes we ate the other day. Those kids.
I know you keep going out there and harvesting a little, but we need to go harvest them.
Right.
And get them out of the ground and get the whole pile scooped back up and ready for next year, right? And All American Prepper says, oh, soap, I'm on my way. We sent All American Prepper and his beautiful bride some soap a while back. So it's there's kind of an inside joke between the All American Prepper and Life Done Free about soap. Yeah. All right. What else? What else you got coming? Hey, Love Runs Rapids in the house. Said finally back to seeing the lives. I'm so busy with bees in the garden. We know that. Welcome back. Glad you're here.
Yep. I'd like to get back into Pod 4, but
I would like you to get back into Pod 4.
Well, have you checked at some of the stuff that I've done? It's coming along.
Yep. No, I haven't.
It's just it was not that far in the first place. So
Masio Parrott says usually sweet potatoes stay in the ground until right before the first frost.
Yeah.
Sweet potato greens for you and the food in the barnyard. Yeah, we got lots of greens. Hickshaw says my tomato plants are almost 6 feet tall and very bushy and full this year. We'll be giving away lots of tomatoes. Yeah, ours are just starting to come on. They're about 6 feet tall, be my guess, right? Bee's trying to grow them over an arch this year, so we'll see how it goes.
Did you see how tall they are past the arch?
Yeah.
So they grew up, and so if I grab it and bring it down, then it will cover the center. But right now they went up the sides and then they're continuing to go up. But as soon as they get heavy, they got to come one way or the other. Oh, I didn't think about that. I'm going to have to go and get them all going over, because if I don't, then they're going to go up and then they're going to get heavy and then they're going to come down the opposite way.
Yes, you want them leaning the
opposite way, then I'm not going to.
Yeah. All American says best soap I ever had, and I'm a soap snob. Yeah, well, you'll like how she makes it. There is nothing in it but soap. Maybe some essential oil sometimes, soap. Right? You put essential oil in once in a while, right?
Yeah.
And loofahs and stuff, but that's about it, right?
Yeah.
All right, what else are you going to try to get done? Oh, you know what? I forgot a slide. Real quick, we had a crazy surprise, you guys, didn't we?
We did have a crazy surprise.
So we went today, raced around. We were going to go. There's a little restaurant not far from us called Finer Than a Frog Hair, and it's basically just burgers and that kind of stuff. And we drove down to get a quick bite before the live, and we come back, and I'm driving down the driveway, and one of our Narragansett turkeys is kind of walking kind of weird around an area, and we look down, and you ain't gonna believe what we seen. Look at that.
So this is Sarah.
This is the one you thought was dead.
So when you see the two together, when you see Nara and Sarah together, Sarah has a darker head. If you just see them, one of them in the on their own, it's hard to go, okay, which one are you? So I thought that Nara was the one that came up missing. But after she came home for that one, like, hey, I'm going to come home for a quick bite. And I was like, whoa, where'd you come from? I thought you were dead like 2 weeks ago. Well, when I saw her, then I was like, oh, no, that's Sarah. So Sarah is the mom of these birds. And she came home just a couple days ago to eat. And I thought that was probably the halfway point. But this clutch she must have had for a while and had been coming back and forth. So
yeah, those babies look about a day old. They're not very old.
Oh yeah, well, a day old they wouldn't be walking, but maybe less than a week probably.
Yeah.
But look, that one right there, the on the left hand side is brown, so that one's going to look like a Narragansett, and then the second one up there has a brown head, and then the other 4 are all
gray.
Silver.
Yeah, the slate gray. We have a slate gray tom. There's with our Narragansetts also. So, but this was a beautiful surprise. Isn't it amazing just how nature just takes care of it?
Yeah. So we got 6 new turkey poults there
that we did not anticipate having. Which is pretty cool. Terminator says, I grew Hungarian heart paste tomatoes this year. Most of the tomatoes are over £1.
Oh my gosh. Hungarian heart.
Last planting of bush beans are finally in. Yep. Jen likes your turkeys. Bonnie says, I'll be harvesting sweet potatoes in 2 weeks. Look at that, beautiful babies. Oh, wow. That's smart. Terminator's making meals in a jar this year. Yeah. The king himself says crazy 3 commercials already.
Wow.
Yeah. Greenhouse turkeys for the win.
Yep. And when I went, I chased her down to get these pictures because that grass that you could see there is as tall as my shoulders. So I'm weeding through this grass trying to get a picture of her and then try to count how many babies she had. And I'm super itchy.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's out with tall grass. All American Prepper said it'd be a valuable asset to the community, and I do what I'm told. You'd love that.
That would be nice.
Yeah, because the Mongolian slave lord.
But she didn't flock me. She didn't try to peck at me. She didn't try to keep her babies from me. She just.
Well, part of the reason we decided to raise Narragansetts is because they're great moms.
Yeah.
Right. And we're trying to create an ecosystem that doesn't take a lot of inputs from us because you just don't know how things are going to turn. And we want, chicken breeds that are great at foraging and have great predator instincts, and same with turkeys, and the birds that are good moms and, those kinds of things over, like, let's say egg production.
Right.
Because I could get a lot, I could get 300 eggs a year out of some breeds when I'm going to get 200 out of a speckled Sussex. But
some people, it's important to have all of the colors of eggs and all, or all brown eggs. And to us, it's more about self-sufficiency than it is beauty and variety and upkeep.
Congratulations on your reign, Terminator. Yeah, resurrected Sarah.
Resurrected. I'm just glad that she's okay.
Yeah, I forgot I had the slide in here, but yeah, this was our surprise when we got home tonight. Literally, you guys, 20 minutes before the live.
Yeah.
Well, I was racing to get up here to get everything uploaded, and
I had to run out into the neighbor's field. And she was smart. So when you put those telephone poles in to mark the don't park, don't pull in this field, she was just on our side
Mhm.
of the telephone pole, so that like
She's protected.
kind of protected from things. And then she was so between the telephone pole and then your siding, so there was just like enough for her to get in there, and she made a nest right there.
Yeah.
I went and looked in the nest to see if there was any eggs that hadn't hatched, or if there was any dead babies or what, and there was nothing in the nest.
Mhm.
There's no shells, there's no babies, there's
Mhm.
no eggs, there's no. I think the dogs got in there.
Yeah. Well,
and cleaned it out.
Yeah.
Because usually, I mean, she's not going to eat 6 eggshells in just a week.
Yeah, Jen says color doesn't matter in eggs. Had an old horse guy tell me you raise for traits, you don't ride for color.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do again, because I start thinking about how do I, in a grid down or in those types of situations, in an economic collapse, how do I feed them?
Right.
You know, and the more I can create where they're dependent on themselves and less dependent on me, the less I have to worry about what I have to come up with. And so to me, that's a big deal. Yeah, Dana Green says, I don't care what color eggs are. My eggs are varied. Got new ones starting to lay next month. No telling what they'll do. Yeah. Yeah, and then you got some more chicks coming, apparently.
Yeah.
Like we need more chicks. Right?
Chicks are nice.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm keeping them all. I don't know if I'm keeping any of them, but I'm helping somebody out. So
if somebody in the community is listening tonight and they need chicks, they need chickens, and you want to help a brother out, please come see me and say you need chickens.
They're not Sussex. No, they're barnyard mix.
Yeah.
So they were eggs from my chickens that somebody else incubated and then hatched and is giving them back.
Right.
Because she's moving.
Or Ann wants to know how is the Sussex chickens.
I thought I read that wrong. I thought it said, "Are they Sussex chickens?" I
got you.
So I think I've lost. Well, whatever was I don't know how many. I actually don't know how many birds I have right now because the barnyard mixed ones come into the chicken coop and they all roost in the rafters. The Sussex do not. They do not come into the chicken coop. I've
seen them in there roosting in there.
The Sussex?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of them?
Well,
a couple here and there.
Here and there. I've seen them.
Yeah. One here or there, even 5 here and there. There's probably 40 of them.
I think what I've noticed is there's somewhere, a Sussex chicken is somewhere between a regular chicken and a guinea.
They're a little more wild.
They're a little more wild. They like to forage. They like to be out and about. I seen our guineas today on the other side of the pond. Like where Callie and Jesse camp from time to time.
Oh.
The guineas were over there today.
That's not good because that means they're going farther and farther. They're not going to come back.
Yeah, they already is what it is. But so I like the Sussex chickens a lot. They're very independent and they're a little bit wild.
What is a little bit wild?
The Sussex chickens. They're a little more wild than
they're a little more feral than
yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe it's because we didn't carry them around as much as when they were babies. Maybe.
Nito says, I have an old English game hen that is a great mom. She'll protect her nest from everything. She's really vicious when broody. Yeah.
I have a chicken in there that when I go to get eggs, she like grabs a hold of my skin and like literally like tears on it. She like shakes her head trying to like get your hand out of my nest.
Terminator said, Tag, I named my pigs after my son, my husband, and my grandson. So when I'm having a problem with them, I yell at them or smack them while calling them their name. My son thinks it's hilarious.
Yep.
That'd be funny if you named a chicken or some animal Tag.
Yeah.
No, Tag. Rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
That would actually be kind of funny.
Our next bull.
Yeah, our next bull. That'd be funny.
And then we'll make him a steer.
Did you tell everybody you shipped the heifers out to be bred?
Yeah.
Did we do that last week?
I think it was the week before that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, because it was the Saturday, the Friday, and then the next day was
okay.
The goose with the turtle on its
Yeah, so we'll have
tail,
two more.
or
We'll have
toe.
2 heifers coming home before long, bred. Getting them ready for next year.
I'm not sure when. I would imagine.
Well, they're not going to want to feed them forever, so.
No, before winter, but I don't know when.
Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll figure it out, won't you?
But I think she said the deed's been done.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, I thought it was neat. We went over to their house where the heifers were going to be bred, and they have a honeymoon suite for the cows.
I kind of thought that the cows would come like my cow would
Like
be
they'd miss you?
Yeah, like come and walk over to me like my dogs do. And she was just like, "Who are you?"
Were your feelings hurt?
Thought you got rid of me. They were just like,
Bee's feelings were hurt
She was
because
like,
her cows didn't come say
"Talk
hi.
to the hoof."
Oh my goodness. You want to get to some topics in the world today since we're about an hour in? You want to? I got some great news. You'll like a lot of these stories.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Brazilian Supreme Court censors orders to X. So a Brazilian court basically sent a letter to Twitter saying that they were going to censor them because of their support of Donald Trump. And I find this interesting because it seems to be going on a lot, which I've got a whole bunch of stories in here that I'll tell you guys about. Australians will be required to submit ID to access the internet, and police must have access to their social media, including their private messaging, all tied to their social credit score. Right? It's becoming so intrusive anymore. In Canada, in October 2022, Trudeau said from today forward, it's no longer legal to buy, sell, or transfer a handgun in Canada. And then in March of 2024, Trudeau endorses a law that would cage people potentially for life for speech crimes. Guys, this is why you never give up on the Second Amendment.
Jeez.
Well,
This is October 22.
Yeah, in October of 2022, they said that you can no longer legally buy, sell, or transfer a handgun in Canada.
Wow.
And now, fast forward, now they're going to lock people up for hate speech. Right? Pretty easy if there's no way to defend yourself, right? Breaking video. UK judge sentences man to 20 months for saying Muslim migrants rape. Insanity. So the judge says saying you don't want your tax money to go to immigrants who rape kids and get priority will land you 20 months in prison in the UK. So you're now forced to pay for your own destruction, and if you speak up about it, they put you in jail. Right? Absolutely insane. Many political analysts are now suggesting that in February of 2025, citizens in the United Kingdom will need mandatory digital ID and a high enough social credit score to access clean drinking water.
So what? Otherwise they get pond water or what?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be in a position where I'm having to ask them for water.
Oh, right.
I mean, this is exactly what I talk about all the time, you guys, about allowing them to have stroke over you. If you're asking for permission to get water from the water company, you are subject to their rule. You are subject to whether or not they like you, and you're subject to whether or not you're popular. You're now subject to what you post on social media, and what you post on social media can get it to where you don't get water or
that
power
sucks.
or sewer or groceries. Guys, this is why I keep saying over and over and over again, get rid of the stroke, get rid of the stroke, get rid of the stroke, get rid of the stroke. Do everything you can to get rid of the stroke. Start collecting rainwater. Find a solar system. If it's not a big one, a little one. Something that you can charge a little bit of things with, where you can, even just getting on the news to figure out what's going on. Do what you can do, because this is the shit that's coming for us, and I'll prove to you it's coming here. Woman arrested in connection with inaccurate social media post. A British woman was arrested for this inaccurate social media post. A 55-year-old woman from Chester has been arrested on suspicion of publishing written material to stir up racial hatred and false communications. She was arrested for posting the wrong name of the Southport stabber.
She was arrested for it?
Yeah, because she quoted the wrong name. The chief superintendent over there said, "We have all seen the violent disorder that has taken place across the United Kingdom over the past week, much of which has been filled by malicious and inaccurate communications online. It is a stark reminder of the dangers of posting information on social media platforms without checking the accuracy. And so now you are also tasked with proving whether or not whatever it is you post is true." It also acts as a warning that we are all accountable for our actions, whether that is online or in person. Right? I think that's hate speech. Right? Just absolutely insane. Yep. Will they turn off the taps? It's exactly what I think they'll do. You guys think smart meters, are on your house for no reason, right? I mean, come on. They got smart water meters, smart electric meters.
But they got them for free.
I know. You got them for free. How exciting. Doesn't everybody understand that anything you get for free, someone else had to work for and didn't get, or it means you're not the real customer?
Or you're not the real customer.
Right? Joel said, I bought another seed spreader and seeds this afternoon. I will not comply. Yep. Nito says, comply or else. I shall not. How can I figure out how much of a 20-foot tall by 6.5 feet round water tank would hold? Starla, I promise you there's a calculator on the internet. Where are you going?
I was going to turn off the air.
Oh, okay. Did you turn off the air in the rest house already?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we at here? LJC says, too bad they won't hold Google to those standards when it goes back and changes headlines of stories. Well, of course they won't, because they're on the right side of the argument and we're on the wrong side of the argument. Right? And just in time, the instigator himself just got home, cleaned up, logged in. Wait, is this the Hallmark Channel?
Hey, I'm going to run real quick and make sure I turn off the one in the living room.
Okay, good. I'll keep reading.
Okay.
First month, 6-day people here a couple years ago. Yeah, this stuff, you guys, is absolutely insane. This is in the UK, and I'll just read it again. Many political analysis suggests that by February 2025, citizens in the UK will need mandatory digital IDs and a high enough social credit score to access clean drinking water. How insane is that? Did you guys know that the European Union has a program that is going into effect in September? And it's a pilot program. And so Portugal, Germany, Latvia, Greece, and Belgium are the countries that are going to do it, which will now require a vaccine passport in order to ride the bus. Now, remember, they got rid of regular cars, or lots of them, right, in favor of public transportation. And so now that there's public transportation, if you don't have a vaccine card, guess what? You can't go anywhere. Oh, I know, but man, that public transportation was so nice, wasn't it? Anytime we give up our freedoms for some sense of safety or security, we deserve neither, as our founding fathers said. This type of stuff just drives me up a wall. These babies are still in pots. I'm in East Texas. I'm going to share with neighbor who has more space and a tractor. I must have missed something. Oh, they're talking about fall seedings up here, I think. Hold on. I wanted to water my fall seedings. Not complying either. Yeah, okay, got it. Sorry, I missed the first part and then tried to get to the last part, All American says, I'm so happy that I've learned to get by without being addicted to their system. A self-reliant, a free man. Guys, it is so important. Think what happens because someone stood up in Great Britain and said, hey, I don't like these immigrants raping our citizens. Not only goes to jail, but now they may not be able to get clean drinking water. And if you think they'll do it with water, do you think they'll do it with electricity? You think they'll do it with sewer? Or what about rent? What about insurance premiums? Do you suppose the government could impose higher insurance premiums for people who don't comply? If they can do it to tap water, I'll guarantee it they can do it there. Right? Oh, there you go, instigator. 22 foot by 6.5 feet should be about 5,460 gallons. Yep. Tag, I have feet. I will always find a way. Well, of course you will find a way. But this is the grip that I'm talking about. They'll make it harder and harder and harder and harder. Yep. If you don't comply, you are a bigger risk. Yes, you are. And we are. Right? You will own nothing and you will be happy, as Nito says. Tyler K. went to prison and lost his house for copying a post on Twitter. Tyler was sentenced to 38 months in prison for copying a post made on X by Lucy Connolly, the wife of a conservative counselor. The post read, mass deportation now, set fire to all the effing hotels full of the bastards for all I care. If that makes me racist, then so be it. The original, the author of the original post, Lucy, had been arrested for the post. And Tyler was trying to prove that he wouldn't be arrested for copying the post. He made this clear in a reply to his post, stating, "My point is more, it's one rule for some and another rule for others." And despite him explaining this, Tyler was then father of 3, was sentenced to 3 years and 2 months in prison.
This guy?
Yep. A father of 3 was sentenced to 3 years and 2 months in prison for copying a post
And posting
that
it.
somebody else wrote. Guys,
This is what it's come to.
This is not happening in Pakistan. This is in the United Kingdom. Absolutely crazy. It is cynical. The various countries and empires have invaded each other for millennia. Gratitude for grace. I don't know if I said hello to you or not, but I think I did. But if I didn't, hello. They have to make an example of someone. Well, they're going to make a whole bunch of examples. Did you guys know that in the UK, some people up in the government decided that they would send Elon Musk a tweet that said, "With great audience comes greater responsibilities. As there is a risk of amplification of potentially harm conflict in connection with events with major audiences around the world." And they sent that to Elon Musk on Twitter. Also, the Washington Post reporter, right? Because all of the stuff I'm telling you guys about, losing our freedoms can't happen here, right?
Right.
Well, just yesterday.
This is land of the free.
Yep. A Washington Post reporter asked the press secretary if the Biden regime could intervene and stop Trump's interview on X with Elon Musk. And this is what the press secretary said. "I think that misinformation on Twitter is not just a campaign issue. It's an American issue." Right? So they're suggesting that it's okay to censor. Moving on, 60-year-old retiree David Spring was arrested for violent disorder. He has received an 18-month prison sentence. He was quoted as chanting, "Who the F is Allah?" at a recent protest.
Oh, man.
So
he
here,
had an 18-month sentence.
For violent disorder for saying, "Who the F is Allah?"
Right.
The world needs to see this and understand that overnight Britain has turned into a totalitarian, authoritarian dictatorship under the socialist Labor government. We are in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't comply back in 21, and now I'm working hard to be as self-sufficient as I can. And Nitos, I know you are. You are living it. In Germany, they are offering free bus passes if you turn in your driver's license. That's right, because then you're dependent on them for transportation.
They can take that.
Which is exactly why they do smart meters for free. Anything you get for free means you're not the customer. You're being sold. You're the product.
So free bus passes, that means that they can take it away. That's their goal.
Well, that's right. Anything you get for free that you don't, it means you're not the customer. You're the product. You are what's being sold.
Well, you live in a city. They're trying to make those cities anyway. So
15-minute cities. Yep. The guy that won the women's boxing is suing Musk and RJ Rowling for cyberbullying. And it wouldn't surprise me if it flew. I hope you mean term limits. Absolutely insane. Now, this was hilarious. Hey, Unique Prepping, how are you? I'm wearing your shirt today, buddy. I thought you guys would enjoy this. It got quite a bit of laughs. So Galvin Newsom in California, right? Because again, this can't happen in our country, right?
Well, California is kind of a different country.
Yeah, but Galvin Newsom says manipulating a voice in an ad like this one should be illegal. I'll be signing a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure that it is. So Galvin Newsom is saying that Elon Musk, who he made a parody about Kamala Harris. So again, he's saying this should be illegal, and he's signing a bill to make it illegal, which means now making fun of Kamala Harris is legal.
Illegal.
But you got to kind of give it to Elon, because he sent back a message to Galvin Newsom that said, "I checked with renowned world authority, Professor Sug on these nuts, and he said parody is legal in America." Yeah, he said Professor Sug on these nuts. Yeah, and he said that parodies are legal in America, and it's great when you fight back until it's not funny anymore. Right? Do you think that the people who are posting, these things, who don't have $1 billion like Elon Musk does, the normal people in the street who post and do these things, us sitting here on a live talking to you guys just being in the live, right? Absolutely crazy. Jen says D's nuts.
D's nuts.
Oh yeah, great point. So Hippocrates says he didn't make those parodies, he just reposted them. Yeah. Absolutely freaking crazy. Yeah. Nito says a few years ago, Nevada Energy put in all smart meters. We didn't want it, but we were told we would have a $56 surcharge every month if we didn't. Yeah. Hey, DR, what's going on, buddy? Long time no see. It says parody is heavily protected, in fact. Was. Right? As we enter 1984. And Jane, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah. Great, crazy. Meanwhile, actual rape in the UK is treated as a misdemeanor, right? So a young girl was raped and the perpetrator was allowed to walk because he did not know rape was illegal. But here's the good news, guys. I got some absolutely great news for you guys today. Europe, specifically England, has a solution. Okay? They have invented rape pants for women. So they're going to hand out rape pants to protect you. We're not going to deal with the rapist. We're not going to deal with the crime. Absolutely insane.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Mo says, remember the reason even this is allowed is because we are the product. That's right. That's absolutely right. They're selling this live stream to advertisers and you guys get the commercial. Again, you guys get to watch it for free because you are the product. 100%.
4 commercials in an hour.
That's right. Yep. Yep. DR says, how the F do you not know rape is illegal? Couldn't tell you.
Right.
Yep. Concentrated Human Farming Organization, the 15-minute city. LJC says chastity belts for the win.
That is crazy.
My rape pants fit 9mm, says Jen. Yeah, Elon's Tropic Thunder meme was even more epic. He's had some good ones. Yeah, so back to the chastity belts for women. Yeah, Tropic. Okay, Tropic Thunder. Yeah, he's had some good ones. Just the invention of rape pants for women across Europe is possibly also the scariest invention of all time. But it gets better, and this is what some good news I really wanted to share with you guys, is there are signs now being posted all over England that says, hey, straight white men, pass the power.
Pass the power.
And I shared several of those pictures with you. And they want the power, and they want the power thing go on with their traditions and go on with the things that make them important. For example, 8-year-old child bride dies from internal bleeding after her wedding night, headline reads.
That's disgusting.
So we have 8-year-old brides and rape pants. Congratulations, England. You're doing so well. But guys, it's coming
here. Was that
here.
in England, the 8-year-old?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. Unique Prepping just got an AI ad. Didn't have chastity belts on my bingo card, says G. John. The world is sick, you guys. And, I've been telling you for a long, long time, I no longer believe that, we can vote our way out of this. I don't know how you fix this voting. Right? I just don't understand. And I hope I'm totally wrong, and I pray that I'm wrong, but I don't think that I am. Meanwhile, this tiny village, Irish village of 200 people was forcibly planted this morning. 280 asylum seekers are to be housed in the hotel, replacing the local population overnight. So think about this. In this tiny Irish village, they went to bed with 200 people as the majority of the town and woke up as the minority, because they moved 280 asylum seekers in from some other country. Overnight. Yep. As Muslim immigrants in the UK burned the British flag and threatened British patriots. This is our country now, they say.
Oh my God.
There's nothing you can do about it. African immigrant gang insulted and attacked British police. Police chose to flee rather than arrest. In another shocking attack, a white girl in Finland gets brutally attacked by a group of migrants. These group attacks on Europeans are becoming common sight across Europe. Culture enrichment in Belgium coming soon to a western city near you. Western city near you. This post is illegal in the UK and will get you jailed. Invading Muslims will try to cross Polish border with Belarus, sorry guys, and Polish forces clash with them to prevent them from entering Poland. Gang that launched savage knife attack in French village. Whitner Ball, killing boy 16 and injuring another 17 years old, told guests, "We are here to stab white people," prior to the rampage.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, and Japanese police protect anti-immigration protests from the leftists. Man,
This is crazy.
it's way past the voting our way out, although voting is still important. This is a straight up fight for good and evil. But you guys know I like to bring you guys good news, right? I do.
I haven't seen any yet.
Well, isn't it good news that this is happening over there and not here?
Not here.
You think that's good?
Well, I mean, I would rather it not be happening at all, but.
But you prefer it. The Santiago attempted the same population override tactics in Oregon, and it almost succeeded. Look up Wild, Wild Country. Well, breaking, hundreds of people including families, are currently being kicked out of their apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. After Venezuelan migrant gangs took over the building. Venezuelan gangs are gaining control in Colorado. Squatters are wreaking havoc on properties, and despite efforts by owners to get help from the police, the FBI, and the banks, nothing can be done to the city's sanctuary status. And you guys thought, probably not you guys, many people thought by these cities giving sanctuary status, they were concerned about the immigrant. No, they were concerned about taking your rights away. And because it's sanctuary status, there isn't anything they can do. A Colorado woman has raised concerns about notorious Venezuelan gangs as she claims they're taking over Denver. She says she feels so unsafe that she has purchased a gun for protection. But according to her, the gangs are reportedly robbing gun stores to arm themselves. Breaking. Pro-Palestinian protesters just stormed into a private meeting between Kamala Harris campaign officials. They set off smoke bombs inside the restaurant. They don't care. Kamala and Biden helped them get here, but they don't care. Right? The top picture on the right, this is inside Logan Airport in Boston. Right? These are all illegals being housed inside the airport. All right?
That's crazy.
Yep. And don't forget, illegals in Alabama are now getting provided voter registration forms. Don't forget, you guys, as the gay Republican reminds us, reminder that we were told $5 billion was too much money and it was too expensive to build a wall. Okay. But the United States is now spending $451 billion per year taxpayer dollars housing and caring for them. I just learned yesterday from a good source that the Venezuelan cartel has taken over for the Juarez cartel. They are in El Paso and here in New Mexico and in Denver. They are known for human trafficking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Colorado State Representative Scott Bottoms confirms that 1 to 5 year old kids are being sold in Colorado. Islam started to invade Europe in 711. 711. The Crusades to kick them out started in 1095 and 1291. Let that sink in. Yeah, so that means they were there for what, 400 years? Absolutely crazy. Our runaway numbers are up and local police are ignoring it, and they're going to continue to ignore it, which again is why we go yoke up. They're not going to help you guys. There's no safety coming. You better go find your own safety. You better go create your own safety. If they don't like what you have to say, they're going to turn your water off, your electric off. They're going to raise your rent. They're going to raise your insurance. Put yourself in a position to withstand those types of things. I would absolutely do it, and I would do it yesterday. They have destroyed my home. Yeah. DR's from Colorado, as I am, and they've destroyed our home. Absolutely sad. Hey, Nurse Wang's in the house. Long time no see. How are you?
So is he hearing stuff like that just on the regular news?
Yeah, I don't know what. Hey, Dr. What are you hearing on your end in Colorado? Because I'm getting all of this stuff
From
people. No, I'm getting it from people in Colorado. I'm following people.
Oh, well, you have a lot of friends there.
Not only that, but I follow the tweets and the stuff that go on locally. Because the problem is the mainstream media ain't telling you any of this stuff. These are people on the ground who I tend to believe. There are approximately 40 million illegals coming in the last 3.5 years. So, in case you thought
there have been 40 million.
40 million. Yeah. Which, by the way, if anyone didn't notice, that would be about 10 times the size of the largest standing army in the world. I know you felt better because it wasn't happening here, but just so you know, it's happening here. I know that makes you excited, right?
No, not really.
All right. You want to change subject? You want to get off the immigrant? Let's see here. Unique Prepping says, I'm in Colorado. I'm getting tired of it. It's getting worse every minute. Yep. Guys, I'm telling you, the only way we can find safety is if we unite and that we yoke up. That is the only way. And you have to go do it. If not, you're going to be standing on your own. Right? They still are coming and they are being flown in. Yes, they are. MSM wants you to think everything is rainbow and unicorns. Love Runs Rabbit says, yes, new subject. All right. So can you imagine a dystopian world in which white coats are allowed to strap people down and force inject them with whatever poisons the government says the public needs at any given time? Such a world now exists in New Zealand. New Zealand legalizes forced vaccinations. Japan declares a state of emergency after nanobots found in 96 million citizens. Japan has issued an apology to its citizens for the disastrous consequences of the mRNA vaccine and has launched a far-reaching scientific inquiries and criminal investigation to establish the truth and punish the perpetrators.
Shame on them.
Yep. Florida Surgeon General says the studies show that anyone who got the vaccine is more likely to contract COVID-19 than someone who did not get it. Will the CDC tell you this? Yeah. And just so you know, when the COVID-19 stuff was going on, Kamala Harris's Vice President Tim Walz sent his tyrannical agents into Minnesota neighborhoods to shoot civilians with paintball guns during COVID. Do we really want someone like this running our country? Just think of what you will be paying for when they go to an all digital currency. Heard that is going to happen in December. Well, Biden's already signed off on it. So it's really just a matter of them, kind of pushing it through. But again, this is why we remove the stroke, right? This is why we produce our own food. We produce our own water. We are never going to be able to, I don't think, completely exit the entire system without a total, collapse. However, I think we can get very close, and I would really encourage everybody to do something about it. MSM says illegals coming is down over the past 5 months and credits the current administration. Probably is. I would probably buy that, G. Johns, but here's the thing. It's just like their inflation numbers. So inflation goes up 10%, up 10%, up 10%, up 10%, and then the 6 months it goes up 2%, and inflation's down to 2%. No, it's not. It's up 72%. That's how they count it, right? So it's all in who's counting it. Oh, LJC for the win. Japan questions jab. Japan economy collapsing. Coincidence? I can always count on her, right? So awesome. Walt is such an anti-American piece of S. I'm sorry for cussing. That's okay. I covered it for you, buddy. Yeah. Doctors killed in plane crash. I don't know if you guys were aware of this, but there was in Brazil, there was a big plane that went down and killed also 62 people on board. I know this is just a coincidence, but 8 cancer doctors who dedicated their lives to saving others and blowing the whistle on the devastating turbo cancer epidemic sweeping the world have been found dead. The bodies of 6 world-leading oncologists and 2 resident medics were found on Friday in the wreckage of a plane that plunged from the sky in Brazil and exploded into a fireball, killing all 62 people aboard. The doctors were on their way to an international conference in Sao Paulo, where they were set to present their findings that the mRNA and COVID-19 vaccines are responsible for the explosion of turbo cancers and autoimmune diseases wreaking havoc on the world today. Just a coincidence. Don't worry about it, guys. Just don't worry about it. Just a coincidence. If If you guys remember, oh, look at that. Jules says 30,000 illegals just showed up the other day. Interesting to see what bots are censoring on this chat. Oh, yeah. They don't like me. And the guys, they're going to take my channel down at some point, but I'm not stopping and I'm not changing what I say. I don't really care. Update. You guys remember from my live last week, there was a lady in Colorado. It's ironic. We've been talking about Colorado a lot tonight. Who recorded some of the Dominion voting stuff from the 2020 election. She preserved some of the records, and she was going to court, right? Remember we were talking about that last week. Well, just so you guys know, update in an absolute travesty of justice, the jury in this trial of Tina Peters has found her guilty on most of the charges against her for preserving records on the Dominion voting machines after the 2020 election. She was found guilty to attempt to influence public servant, guilty to attempted to influence public servant, count number 2, guilty on attempted to influence public service, count number 3, guilty on conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation, guilty on official misconduct, guilty on violation of duty, and guilty on failure to comply with SOS requirements. Poor lady, right? This is what happens when you're not Elon Musk and you know, and you go to take on the system.
Right.
Brett Boys, how are you? Good to see you.
Right.
There was something that was telling me that there was something evil about the jab. It was just the voice that I hear that warns me about the evil. I believe it's the Holy Ghost. This is crazy. And since people are getting in trouble for standing up, I figured I'd include another article from August the 14th. Medical warfare, doctors who question COVID shots and promoted ivermectin lose certification. They just recently stripped 2 doctors of their medical license for their questioning of COVID. Now, do I need to take you guys all the way back to England where you post something online that you disagree with immigrants and you end up going to jail? Well, this just happened here in America with 2 people who, you know, have practiced medicine for quite a while, and they lost their license over their questioning it. That's okay. There's more to the story, I promise you. Hour and 21 minutes. Okay, I better get moving. Kamala Harris reveals that she'll be freeing all illegal aliens from detention centers in the United States if she becomes president. And she will become president. Yep. Don't forget that Harris was also the lady that hired 87,000 new agents so that they could go after people's tips. And now she's saying that she does not want taxes on people's tips. So I think it depends on which Kamala you believe, because if you guys don't know, she actually cast the tie-breaking vote to make it where you would tax it.
Right.
I found a really interesting article. Although I want to warn you guys, I cannot verify it. I have looked. I can only find one source. But the Babylon Bee was reporting just right before this live that Kamala is proposing a $6,000 tax credit, much like the child care credit, right? You know how you get earned income credit?
Okay.
Okay, yep. For your kids?
Yep.
That people
taxes.
The people who go through an abortion should have the same thing.
A tax credit?
Yes, a $6,000 tax credit is what this article said. But again, I tried to verify it. I have not found any other source beyond the Babylon Bee.
It's stupid.
I believe the one who says she wants to implement price controls. Well, on that note, DR, Kamala Harris is set to announce a federal price control protections in the food and grocery industry. This is a god-awful idea, but it's an open question whether Republicans will have the spine to criticize her, because this would require abandoning other ideas that some Republicans have favored in recent years, like capping interest rates on credit cards, expanding FTC regulations, and raising the federal minimum wage. Yeah, this is super interesting. First of all, this will never work. If you put a cap on it, all that's going to happen is you're going to push out the little guy. Yeah. The Walmarts and those kind of things, they'll live through it okay because they've got lobbyists that control where that cap is. And so what you've done is you've taken all the mom and pop shops out, further helping them push people into the 15-minute cities that you and I know that this is where they want to believe. G. John says that's accurate. Bonus for 0 to 2 years old. Yeah, I have not. I just hadn't seen another article, and I want to be careful, posting it if I haven't been able to verify it. Oh no, Harris isn't going to be president over my dead body. Well, if I was a betting person, I would say she's your next president. And I'll show you why here in a little bit. She did say a $6,000 tax credit. I heard her say it today. Yeah, Vance said 5,000. She said 6,000. Yeah, if this is for earned income credit for having a child, it's the aborted one that I can't verify.
Sick.
I could verify the other one. Interesting opinion. Yep, Kerry Davis for the win, unburdened by what has been. An interesting opinion article came out in the Washington Post that says when your opponent calls you a communist, maybe you shouldn't propose price controls. Which is a great point, right? You guys know that the media censors everything and they spin everything. And I just thought you guys would like to see the Time articles, the Time magazine covers for both Trump and Kamala. And
it's crazy. She still has those earrings in. Those are the same earrings that are.
are
the same earrings she has in every single picture. She has a $65,000 Tiffany's necklace, but those earrings she has on every single time.
She's no lady, zero class and not polite, well-spoken or refined. I agree. Mm-hmm. The little guy will go and the selection for bread will drop to one type. Yep. I absolutely agree. Her version of hiding in a basement is not doing interviews and letting the media push her through. Well, they don't care. That's what's going to happen. And I promise you it's going to happen because you can't convince me that Biden won fair. And so what makes you think they won't cheat again, first? And second of all, it's all being set up. And I'll give you all kinds of examples tonight of this. But it's obviously not fair, right? Price controls will shrink supply of whatever they are trying to control. Simple economics. LJC says Babylon B is kind of prophetic. Yeah. And like I said, I couldn't verify it. I always try to find at least two sources to everything I put in here. Because you never know, right? If the internet, it's got to be real, right? So that's what I try to add a couple of them. Yeah, Terry says, I just seen 6K for having a baby. Yeah, it's the only place I found it was that one thing.
For having a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, Brett says they'll steal it like last time. Conservative friends, welcome. Hey, Mario, what's up, buddy? Good evening, my people. Sorry I'm late. I voted tag and B for president and vice president. Yeah. The story about tax credit is from a satire site. YouTube is blocking my husband's comment that includes the name of the site. Yeah.
Of course it is.
I think it's crazy. A little old channel like mine that's tiny like this, and, you know, I got 8,000 subscribers on a channel, and they feel the need to censor it. Crazy. They're going to do the same thing they did last time. I agree. Why do they talk about Trump with the girls, but crickets about how she's a homewrecker? Because they want her to win. That's why. Right? I cannot believe she went from one of the worst presidents to the supposed darling, and she's going to win, in my opinion. Because she's going to move us forward as the campaign slogan, which, by the way,
that doesn't even look like her.
That's her campaign slogan. This is the same artist that drew the Obama Hope one. Remember that was all famous?
He got the earrings wrong.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the media. And this is why I think that they'll win. Here's just the intelligencer, right? I just Googled it. Harris versus Trump polls. Kamala gains are now a trend, not just a bounce. Nate Silver on the 2024 race. It's no longer Trump's election to lose. I'm a Republican strategist, and here's how Trump is taking his own campaign, right? Donald Trump says he'll flee to Venezuela if he loses the election, but it gets worse. So you guys know, and I did this in a couple lives ago, I went on DuckDuckGo and I went on Google, and all I Googled was Donald Trump and Kamala Harris because I find it super fascinating. So when you Google Donald Trump, the top articles that came up under DuckDuckGo were Donald Trump's committing political suicide, Republican pollster says. Mark Cuban reveals the moment that changed his mind about Donald Trump. Judge rejects Donald Trump's latest demand to step aside from hush money criminal case. If you Google on DuckDuckGo Kamala Harris's popularity rating surges past Trump. Americans give Harris the advantage over Trump on honesty and discipline. Nikki Haley, who advises Trump, quit whining about Harris if you want to win in November. So that's DuckDuckGo. Google's got to be better, right? So if you do it on Google, what you find is Americans give Harris an advantage over Trump on honesty and discipline. It's finally game over for Trump. Trump's continued attacks on Harris rise the stir of fear he could question the election. If you Google Kamala Harris on Google, you'll get Harris is set to lay out an economic message. Light on detail. Republicans for Harris want conservatives to go vote Democrat in 2024. Americans give Harris the advantage over Trump on honesty and discipline, and Nikki Haley has a blunt message for Trump. So I don't see any difference between DuckDuckGo and Google.
Right.
They're all being manipulated, right?
Yep.
Absolutely crazy.
That's too bad too.
Yep. If they put Trump in jail next month, they'll make a new law to make him ineligible. Yeah, I got some stuff on that too. Governor Walker won the recall and then lost a couple months later. Yeah, go figure. Yeah, she looks too white in that poster. Was the artist painting her or Leah Remini? Yeah, it's supposed to be her. Those posters, I'll go back. Let me go back a slide. So you guys know that poster, those are the posters that are being taped up on walls around Chicago for the DNC convention. All right. I feel she's an essence of evil. Oh, yeah. We know DuckDuckGo sold out, though. It's as bad as Google. Yes, it is. It really is 1984. It really is 1984. I thought Google bought DuckDuckGo. That's probably why. But yet the advertising.
I didn't know they did.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that all four Fox, CNN, BBC, MSNBC had the same talking points when she was put in front? They all feed off the same stuff because they're owned by the same people. Go look at the top shareholders are in every one of them. Yep. Ministry of Truth. Ministry of Truth. Absolutely crazy. LJC, is that a search engine or a web browser? Our local talk show coming up Monday is the DNC convention. It's going to be a riot. Be careful what you ask for, right? Here's some good news for you guys. So Harris is starting to talk about her cabinet picks because, they know they're going to win. And if Harris and Waltz get their way, here's some of their proposed cabinet members. Eric Holder is chief of staff. That'll be good, right? We all like that. Jake Sullivan is Secretary of State. Wow, that's a great pick. Rahm Emanuel is the National Security Advisor. Man. Awesome. Harris proposes an up to a $25,000 down payment support for first-time home buyers. But I warn you, when she was first quoted saying it, she said first-generation home buyers. So when she says first generation, just so you know, she's talking about the illegals, right?
Oh, man.
What's first generation?
It could be. It could also be 20-year-olds.
First generation?
Oh, no. I guess. Shit. Right.
Spin this in a good, positive way. These people want to hear the good, positive stuff. And just so you guys know, President Biden calls on his supporters to beat the hell out of them. The comment came when Biden was falsely connected to Projects 2025 to Donald Trump. Let me tell you what our Project 2025 is, he says. Beat the hell out of them. So we have all of these tens of millions of immigrants that they moved into the country. They want us to beat the hell out of us. Interesting. I wonder if that's like Great Britain 2.0. Got me. G. John says, I wonder what Obama is doing these days, just a few blocks from the White House. Property taxes must be lower in Chicago.
Lower than Chicago.
Serious question. Do you think this is going to lead to civil war? But I don't know how we recover from all of this. And it isn't even just this. I could go, I went on a rant tonight about the stuff going on over in Europe with the migration and all of that stuff. But I could have very well went on a rant what's going on in the Ukraine with Russia. I could have very well went on a rant what's going on between Israel and Iran. I very well could have went on a rant what was going on through China and Taiwan. I just as well could have went on a rant on the economic side of what's going on. It's a mess. We're $35 trillion in debt and have no hope of ever bearing out from underneath it. We'd have more money going every single day towards paying the interest than we do actually paying the bills.
We got 30,000 people coming in yesterday.
Yes, absolutely insane. Oh, good news. Just so we're all equal, because I know everyone likes to be.
Can you see?
Yeah, I know everyone likes to be equal. And in case you guys didn't catch it, there was an enormous amount of sensitive information to include social security numbers for millions of people could be in the hands of a hacking group after a data breach that may have been released on an online marketplace, the Los Angeles Times reports. Hacking group USDOD, which is interesting, United States Department of Defense, right? Right. Claimed it allegedly stolen personal records of 2.9 billion people from the National public data. Just in case anyone doesn't know, there's 335 million people in the United States of America. They stole records of 2.9 billion, which means they got your Social Security card.
Yeah.
Right? Social Security number. According to a class action lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, reported by Bloomberg Law, the breach was believed to have happened in or around April. But of course, now the only reason you're finding out about it is because there was a class action lawsuit filed. Right?
That was like 5 months ago.
Yeah. According to a post from cybersecurity expert on X, USDOD claims to be selling the 2.9 billion records to citizens of the United States, UK, and Canada on the dark web for $3.5 million. Isn't that awesome?
It's awful.
I mean, I wonder what in the world they would do with all those Social Security numbers. Why you ponder that, Alabama Secretary of State just discovered that thousands of non-citizens registered to vote in the November election. We got the information, we cross-checked it with our central data files, and here in the state of Alabama, we found those 3,200 individuals. It is our belief that only Americans should be able to vote.
Yeah.
Man, imagine if you had all American Social Security numbers. Could you not make the people not supposed to vote be able to vote?
Well,
They can vote for you. They had your information. It's crazy. Where are we at here? Eric, dumpster fires all around. Polycrisis worldwide. Yeah, it is a mess. I have an interesting theory about this hack. I think the government could use it to further the CBDC. Of course it could, because they will create the problem and then they'll come up with a solution. I've been saying for a year, they're going to make the banks out to be a bad guy.
Yeah. And
it might be through something like this. Look, they can't manage the information. The government has to protect it. We need something centralized so we can protect you. Right? Gary Davis says, I keep repeating, I'm tired, boss. Sometimes it's just too much. Yeah.
I'm tired, boss.
Yeah, I know. I'm tired, boss, too. But what I do know is...
That's from the Green Mile.
Yeah, it is. The good news is about it, if we can do something about it, we can protect our own interests to the craziness that's going on out there, you know? Need to know who isn't getting digital ID, right? Cross-checked with Social Security numbers. Right. The data breach will be used as a way to force more regulation on us to protect our identities, just like the Patriot Act protects us. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Can you reach the light?
Yeah, we get a light on. Yeah. How about that? Oh my goodness.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. So glad to be able to interact with people who understand what's going on. Most people I work with believe the media talking points. Yeah. Yeah.
We know several of them.
Hey, go get something to eat, Jules. All right. Let's keep trucking, huh? Okay. So it is reported that President Trump will 100% be sentenced to prison on September 18th, says Tony. Told the sentence will be 1 year, but we'll see. The Marxist judge could change the sentencing at the last minute, but he is definitely sentencing Trump to at least a year. Rikers Island is already special accommodations ready, and this has been verified by the New York Post. It has verified it that Rikers Island is preparing or has prepared a prison cell for the former U.S. president. Okay, the deep state knows no shame, says Alex Jones. They are desperate. Our sources confirm that a section of Rikers Island has been prepared for President Trump. Tulip Little Angel says, I recommend everyone check your state's voter registration. People are posting how to unregister you. Yes, they are. All by having your information. But here's the good news. Your information is private. Where would they get it? Oh, wait.
All over.
Oh, didn't they just?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's been leaked.
All this hacking is why people will gladly take the mark of the beast. Couldn't agree more. State Representative Clay Higgins says this is what hate looks like, and this is a picture of the judge in the case. Right? This is how election interference happens. It happens, and then Kamala Harris has paid Judge Merchan's daughter over $7.5 million, according to FEC filings. This is what I'm saying. And
crooked.
Yeah, Indiana Mike says, can you guys see my last 2 posts? They don't appear in the live feed. No.
No.
I haven't had a post from you in a long time, boss man. I don't even remember the last time. It's way up there the last time we had one from you. So no. Yep, we don't see it. Isn't that crazy? Hope there is not many sloped roofs on Rikers. I love you, Mo. All staged months ago. Biden act at debate, changed to Kamala in July, momentum towards DNC in August, September sentence, October, to be determined, too late, November 4. Totally agree. Tringo says, Tag, what are your thoughts on stacking gold and silver? I think it's a good idea if you have everything else taken care of first. So I would not put gold and silver at the front of my list. I would own my land first. I'd be debt free first. I would own my solar system first. I would own a water system first. I would break that stroke first. And then I think it's an absolute fabulous idea. Yeah. Indiana says 2 can play at this game. All right. And I'll help you out. I'm following you. So we'll post them.
Maybe you shouldn't say it.
Why not? Yeah. 5th. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's put it together. Sinclair, Media, Deadspin, YouTube. You know, Mike, I got to tell you, buddy, you're really turning into quite the rebel after these years. You know that? Yeah.
In his old age.
In your old age, you're really turning into a rebel. Yeah. Yeah. This is why, guys, I don't see any way that Trump's elected. Anyway. I think Kamala will be your president because of all of this. You know, it's not as simple as just to vote, right? So what's Vegas say? I thought you guys would find this interesting. So that first graph is the betting odds for Trump versus Kamala to become president. They have Kamala up 54% to 45% Trump. That's Vegas. Setting the odds.
Yep.
Right? Fox News poll, the recent one that just came out, have them neck and neck. You've got to be kidding me. Right? This lady's the most unpopular vice president in history, and in a matter of a month is neck and neck with Trump. And you guys buy any of this? Jeez. I'm not even a Trump fan, and yeah, conservative friend says cash at home too. The transition will take time, 100%. Yep, LJC says Indiana's on a list. Yeah. I'm afraid they will outlaw gold and silver when they go digital. Invest in tangible items instead. That's why I'm saying I like the idea of gold and silver. I think there's some really cool things. I own them, but not at the expense of being energy independent, not at the expense of being water independent, not at the expense of being debt free.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't do it in those cases. But yep, I don't buy it. Who believes the polls? Yeah, because Americans are comfortable sheeple. Yeah, don't hurt bad enough yet. It's all BS. Yeah, I think it's just crazy. I think it's crazy that we're even here. You know? Some interesting stuff going on the Secret Service front. I thought you guys might be interested to know. I don't know if you guys know, but there was a Secret Service agent at a Kamala rally who took a piece of tape and covered the camera of a local hair salon so she could break in and let Kamala supporters use the bathroom.
No, yeah, there was like
stupid.
There was like the business owner came back to find that the Secret Service had been there. They were there for 2 hours using the bathroom and not services. Yeah. The business was closed.
So what does this tell you?
And they went on in and made themselves at home in a private business.
It tells you that they believe that their rights trump yours.
Yes, they do.
That's what that says.
They do. They can do whatever they want to you. To your business.
Yep. Yeah, all-American debt is bad. Judge won't recuse himself after being asked 3 separate times because of his daughter's involvement with the hyena. Yep. And Indiana Mike says, just the fact that I was censored twice for trying to share that crazy video is nuts. Yep, gold and silver is a hedge, but you need to hold it in hand. Otherwise, it's just another form of crypto. Totally agree. Yeah, and Hank Shaw, congratulations, gets ads for the 4th time. Breaking: Secret Service has just approved new security plan that will allow President Trump to hold outdoor rallies again.
Oh. He's not allowed to?
Well, no, they stopped doing it because they couldn't protect him. He stopped doing it, but now the Secret Service is saying they have a new plan.
Oh, great.
That will help them. So
do you think that was just mass negligence and as far as
no, I think it's
assassination, or do you think it was intentional that they got him in the ear?
Yeah, I think that there is far more to it than that. There's in my opinion, way too many coincidences. Or maybe their news story that they're just coming out with, because, like, why did it take so long for them to react? Why did they let it go on for so long? Why did they clear the people out in front of where the shot came from? Why? I mean, there's just so many questions in that. That kid should have never got that close. There's no way. Anyway, there's a lot to it. But one of the reasons that they delayed is the sniper shot Trump's gunman's weapon.
The sniper shot what?
Yeah. So what they're saying now is that one of the reasons it took so long is because they shot the weapon out of his hand, which is why the weapon was found 8 feet away from him. Which is, they say they shot it out of his hand.
Yeah, because it wasn't by him. It wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was shot dead on the roof, right?
Yes, he was. Conservative friend says, since I said that previous statement, no, it's not in my underwear drawer. AI is quick, but only as accurate as what it is fed. Yep, and then Love Run Rampant gets a Kamala commercial. Yankee Farrell, how are you? Says the business break and story needs to be spread around. It's hard. They shut it down, They absolutely shut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Unique, I also agree. I think it was intentional. Yep, the new independent report details how FBI covered up their tracks of the assassination attempt of Trump, which, by the way, I think it's so fascinating here. Now they're approving him for outdoors, and they still haven't cleared the other stuff up yet. It's still under investigation. The body of Thomas Matthews was cremated before the second independent examination could take place. The FBI released all of its first responders on the same evening. The next day, they washed down the site, erasing any evidence, and they waited until the third day to release the entire crime scene. So by the time they released it, all of this, he was already cremated. Yeah. Everything was already done.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. And nobody even knew that Thomas Matthew Crook's body was cremated until August. And then in just kind of a little side note, which I found funny, Nick Sorter was reporting that apparently a Secret Service agent abandoned her post yesterday at Trump's rally in North Carolina to go breastfeed her baby. This is the Secret Service, you guys. Yeah. All American says, such were the days of Noah. With his money, why does he rely on the government's plenty of ex-ministries for hire? Yeah, I wouldn't. I absolutely wouldn't. After they broke into that salon and hung out a while, then they left it unlocked for anyone else to come in and ransack the business.
Yeah, then they didn't lock it back up. You're right.
Yep, Crook's body was cremated and the entire scene scrubbed. Yep. I can't keep up with the number of shots. 8 from the gunman, 1 sniper hit gunman, then 1 hit the gun. Who counted 10 shots? Time to backpedal. Oh, we'll never know the truth. You never. I mean, at least I can get more than 3 minutes on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Think his family got a payout? Trump's? No. I'd be surprised at that. But then again, nothing would surprise me. Farmer says, I use uBlock Origin to block YouTube ads. Oh, interesting. I'll leave that up there just a little bit. Just choose live primitive. I do not need nor want anything the system has to offer. Yeah, the problem is pretty hard to get away from it, Pretty hard. All right. Goodness, we're at monkeypox. You guys excited about moneypox?
Money?
Did I say money?
Yeah.
Money?
Moneypox.
Is it moneypox or is it monkeypox?
I don't know. You said moneypox.
Moneypox.
Well, it says mpox.
Global pandemic fears rise due to mpox, with world on brink of World Health Organization's highest alert. Global pandemic fears rise to mpox with world on brink, right? Because they go to the highest level. A mutant monkey, and this is important. Super important. A mutant monkeypox outbreak has been declared a public health emergency by authorities in key decisions set up on Wednesday. Mpox, previously known as monkeypox, has claimed over 200 lives since the beginning of the year. and spread rapidly to 16 countries, with 6 new countries affected in the last 10 days. A couple things that I think are really interesting about this. So I'm going to post something here in the chat. So public health emergency, right, of international concern. We'll give you guys something to play with. See if it'll even post it. Oh, it did. Cool. Oh, Tag says, Unique says, Jen was meeting Cook's family for payout. I don't know. I mean, there's no way there's no amount of money in the world you could give me. You know? Packrat says, it's going to pay off for the right people. Let's call it money pox. Okay, cool. So it's money pox for us for the rest of the way. Let me see here. So there you go. So that's what it is, right? So it's been declared a public health emergency of international concern. So if you were going to pronounce that word, how would you pronounce it? I'll just leave it up there for a bit. Let me see. One more rock. Hello, how are you? Says, I believe if everyone will ignore the Mpox, it will go away like all others they tried. Fool me once, but never got fooled. Lover and Rampant says, shit, I thought the bird flu was coming. Now I have to change signs? Yep. Kelly May says we might as well have monkeypox. We have everything else. Yeah, right. Yep. All American says, I've lived in an 8x10 shed for the last 8 years, and I am content. Hakeshaw said he would pronounce it fake. I find it very interesting. To avoid YouTube ads, Bonnie says, I use YouTube Premium. Cost me $15 and change per month, but it's worth it to me. Yep. Conserve Friend says it says fake too. Yeah. Jen says, look, distractions before the election, fear mongers. Yep. Well, I find it absolutely fascinating that that's the digits that they used. The monkeypox vaccine will protect those most at risk, especially, as you mentioned, the children, is spreading very rapidly and could pose a threat to the rest of the world, says the World Health Organization. Just out of curiosity, according to the World Health Organization, the emergence last year and the rapid spread of a new strain in DRC, that's Congo, which, so you guys know, the spread of the monkeypox, they're saying coming out of Congo, which is also super rich in lithium and cobalt. But anyway, I won't go down that road, which appears to be spread mainly through sexual networks. So anybody that knows anything about the monkeypox, it typically was a male-to-male sexually transmitted disease in many cases, right? And that's what it was before. Now they've got a new strain, but they're still saying that the new strain is mainly through sexual networks, until you get to the bottom of the article when it says several outbreaks of different mpoxes have occurred in different countries with different modes of transmission and different levels of risk. What do you mean by different modes of transmission? Like, they got anything more than that? They're saying it was mainly, it just makes no sense to me that that's all they would give you. So it's mainly contracted through sex and different modes, and that's the end of it, right? And you've given us so information that the World Health Organization invites monkeypox vaccine manufacturers to submit a dossier for emergency evaluation. So they're asking for the vaccine.
Here we go again. Ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Round 2.
That's where we at. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, I might have missed some. Yoda says stop with the same-sex orgies. Yeah. They're trying their best to get ultimate control. Yes, they are. Bonnie, you are financing your enemy, says Genki Farrell. It's a sin disease. Let me see here. Barry Cunningham on YouTube went into detail about the pools and why they aren't true. Some haven't been updated since the 1st of August. Didn't HIV come from that region? Well, I mean, I think that's where they claim it comes from, much like they say that COVID came from a lab in Wuhan, when I would argue just as likely it came from somewhere in the United States. Yeah, different modes of sex. IV drug use, says LJC, probably. Well, here's the thing, though. If that's the only way you can contract it, why in the world would it be a public health emergency of international concern? Right? Sure seems to be. Right?
Why'd you put, yeah.
Right. Yep. So World Health Organization declares moneypox a global health emergency. And WHO Director General declares an outbreak a public health emergency of international concerns. We were already telling you that. Oh, yeah, that's right. One more rock. HIV was a Fauci creation. He was in charge back then. Yep. Since men are now women or cats, we got a different mode or two. Got it. Thank you. That helps so much. I was so confused. Yeah. Let's see. It's clear that a coordinated international response is essential. The monkeypox situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. The potential for spreading is very worrying, says the World Health Director. Blah, blah, blah. The rapid spread of the lethal version of Mpox, first in Africa, now in Europe, at least 17,500 cases in 2024. There were more than 3,000 cases in 2022. Legacy Sky Media found a presenter to get excited about monkeypox. UK dude claims to have contracted monkeypox. If this isn't a joke, I'm done, as you see his feet. Yeah. New Mpox vaccine maker ready to produce 10 million doses, and Canada prepares for lockdowns in a hypothetical outbreak. Lovely. Yeah, they don't say the sexual transmitted part out loud, so people just see the pics of the pox and freak out, right? I mean, don't go have dumb sex, right? I mean, pretty easy. Right, women are undefined, tampons are for some dudes, so different modes made different sense for the world. Yep. According to the World Health Organization, the planet is overpopulated, so they have to reduce the population. I agree. Being in a monogamous relationship is now more important than ever. Couldn't agree more. Russia, however, just so you guys know, came out and said that there was no threat of monkeypox spreading in Russia, which I found.
They don't have it there.
They don't have it there.
They're not going to have it there.
Yeah, but Sweden confirms a case of monkeypox, the first reported infection strain outside of Africa. This was on August the 15th, right? See that date there, babe?
Yep, yesterday.
August 15th, that was yesterday, okay. Except breaking, monkeypox has, I wish I put, this was just today. Monkeypox has been detected in the wastewater of 2 different districts in San Francisco.
In the water?
That's what it says. The World Health Declaration declared monkeypox a global health emergency yesterday. Their timing was perfect. Now the illness is in the United States a day after their announcement.
Wow.
This is why we don't beg for permission for our water. This is why we have our own water, and this is why we take care of some of those things, right? Out of curiosity, the WHO orders governments to prepare for a MAGA lockdown. You reading that?
Yeah.
It says mega, but I'm going to call it the MAGA lockdown. So WHO orders government to prepare for a MAGA lockdown. So my question is, what's the difference between a regular lockdown and a MAGA lockdown? I wonder if a MAGA lockdown include forced vaccination, or I wonder if it only includes one side of the political side. And the Babylon Bee, which is out there a little bit, is reporting that they are going to mandate the monkeypox vaccine for the Navy, although I also could not confirm that anywhere beyond that. G-John says they need a plan B in case the plan A with the media doesn't work, right? 100%, right? In case somebody turns their head just at the right moment and they miss. Just like yes. I'll say something. Just like Grandma said, don't be different moding before marriage with people you don't know. Yep, Sweden has plenty of African immigrants. No public pools or gyms in California. Freaking ooh. Yep, from what I read by some scientists, the water is how they spread the sea. I have read that as well. I wish I could find, something with a lot more concrete to it, but I have read some of that. If we all wear LJC, I love you. If we all wear our rape pants, then we don't need monkeypox lockdown.
Well, that's just different modes.
Now I understand why people want to move to Mars. Yep, sounds like a play from the Georgia Guidestones. Yep, that was a real thing. Well, was, right? Until they knocked him down. Yeah, Babylon Bee is a satire site. The story is probably hilarious. Yeah. Having a well drilled next week costs $12,000, but so what house and everything else is paid for. Wonderful. Great work. Absolutely great work. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yep. So the World Health Organization says to produce vaccines and drugs, it would be safer for humanity to sign an agreement with the Colombian drug cartels. The World Health Organization wants all countries and organizations to sign an agreement handing over the authority to declare a pandemic. Do you see the trajectory yet? Right? Monkeypox pandemic, monkeypox mRNA vaccines, vaccine passports. And they're already reporting 5 countries in the European Union that are going to test the vaccine passport idea, right? So we already covered that tonight. Official documents, this is so mind-blowing to me. Official documents suggest monkeypox as a cover-up for damage done to the immune system by COVID vaccinations resulting in shingles, autoimmune blister disease, and the herpes infection. So what they're saying is, what some people are saying is that maybe the monkeypox is their answer so they don't have to answer to the mess up of COVID because they'll just blame it now on.
Oh my gosh.
Right, which is crazy. The map that I'm showing you guys right here, by the way, are the countries that the Pfizer vaccine was approved in 85 counties. So the country. So this is where it all went, and now they're saying maybe it's a cover-up. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but.
So if that's the case, then the monkeypox would be more rampant in those areas.
Yep, and more right. Which I have that map next. I need to invest in companies making great pants. Yeah. Yeah, glad I'm a homebody. Yeah, no need to travel anyway. Yeah. So you guys remember that map in your mind, right? Oh, did I put it in there? Shoot, I didn't put it in there, I don't think. I had the map of where all of the monkeypox had gone on, and it lines up pretty good with that red map so far. But we'll see where it goes, right?
So they're saying that's here in the U.S.
Yep. Well,
it's bad
in the water. They're saying it's in the water system in San Francisco, according to what that was saying. But babe, who knows? The truth is, who knows?
Right.
This is just improbable to be just a big scare tactic. Right? Maybe not. But here's the thing. They've taught everybody through COVID not to go get vaccines.
Yep. And not to distance and not to.
So then they give us a real one and nobody goes gets vaccines and everybody dies and now the population's fixed. Amy B says, hi, all 15 plus hour work days. So happy to be here. Amy, we are happy you are here. We're just about done, but happy you're here. Yeah. Rand Paul is trying to get enough signatures to prosecute Fauci for the gain of function. I hope he does. Just don't do it. Yeah, right. Right. Amy, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I'll take my chance. No jab for me. Yeah, no, none for me either. I just think it's fascinating that it'd be, these are the psyops that, can have huge impacts on people because, we're only told what we're shown. And at the end of the day, we're taught to listen to them. And there's more and more people becoming awake every day. But, I worry for it because, that day may come where we actually need something serious. And yet we don't do anything about it. And I wouldn't either. So stay home, much safer. Yeah, I absolutely could not agree more. Jen. Yeah. Can't imagine what other things are in the water supply in San Francisco. Gross. Like, so gross. Yeah, I better be able to opt out of it. Well, I don't know. According to the stuff they're doing in Europe, they're making people carry their vaccine passports with them to get on a bus, or a train once they've eliminated public transportation. And then next it comes, as they were reporting earlier in the live tonight, Amy B, that they will require the right vaccine and the right social credit score in order to be able to get clean drinking water. Right? Guys, this is why we have to break the stroke, right? This is it, right? See here, LJC says, Indiana, if there's a horse semen, Tim Waltz will be there. Gross. Gross, 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 gross. After careful research into how monkeypox is spread, we have determined that the Navy to be at dire risk, said Secretary of State Lloyd Austin. The other branches, should be fine. Right. Yeah, prepare for staying put is the perfect advice. Right?
Oh, right.
I would not be surprised if they do not spray us with the vax with chemtrails. We've all read those books about patient zero spreading the plague via air travel, water contamination. Yep, I think everybody should go watch Stephen King's The Stand tonight. Hey, David Strom, how are you, bud? They've made us addicted to convenience. Yes, we are. Got it. October was to be determined. Now Trump will get COVID in October and won't be able to campaign. or monkeypox.
I thought he was going to prison in September, though.
Yeah, maybe he'll contact monkeypox, to which they'll blame on homosexual activity. Who knows, right? Anyway, it's 2 hours. Babe, what do you got? What else do you want to talk about before we get out of here tonight?
I was going to say to be sure and take time for situational awareness.
And what's that mean for you?
For me, that means pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on. You know, it's easy to say like, oh, pay attention to what's going on. Well, like pay attention to what's going on. Look around you when you're at the store. Quick story. We went to Walmart, and my wonderful husband was with me, and we were shopping, and I was pushing my buggy, filling it all nice and full. And yes, you may. And he kind of, so he wasn't standing with the buggy. He was route tag. I was standing with the buggy, putting the stuff up on the cart, on the conveyor belt, out of the cart, and getting ready to check out. Well, he steps like behind me, but is like several feet behind me, still in the lane, but behind me, and kind of look at him, and he's not really looking at me. He's like looking over there, and I'm going, what's he looking at? And then he like comes to the side, not to my side, but kind of to around, and stands there. And I'm going, yeah, like I'll put this stuff in the cart. What are you doing? What are you looking at over there? And so as we were getting ready to leave, this guy kind of cuts in front, and this dude was like weird looking. And then he like proceeds to go out in front of us, and then gets on a little girl's bike, like a little like 20-inch bike, little girl's bright pink bike. And then he has like this boom box that he like puts over his neck, and he like pushes the button, and it like blares music, and he starts pedaling down this like Hello Kitty bicycle. And I was like, what were you doing? And he was like, did you not see that? What was going on? And I'm like, no, but did you see that guy? And he was like, that's what I'm talking about. And like, I had no idea what he was looking at, and didn't even see the guy until like, boom, he's like right in front of me. He like cuts me off to get out the door. And I'm just like, oh, excuse me, go ahead, sir. And so long story short, like if you're not paying attention to what like people are doing around you, you can possibly get into some trouble. When you're out and about by yourself, make sure you have something on you to maybe, help yourself in a situation.
Carry a gun.
Or a box cutter in case you find a snapping turtle. Whatever. Anyway, or plan, once a month grocery trip and take your husband. Yeah. Pay attention to what's going on around you. The stuff, Colorado, that's not too far from us. Craziness is going on everywhere. And when you're least expecting it is when you're going to get hit. I remember when my very first house, my neighbor next door, he said, if you don't lock your front door when you go out into your backyard, somebody's going to walk in and rob you. And I was like, gosh, he's so paranoid. Well, I was in that house, and somebody was like wiggling my doorknob, and like opened the curtain, and there's like a dude standing there, like at the door, like, hello. Crazy stuff happens all the time. And if you're prepared and you have a plan, you know where you're going, you walk into a store, you walk into a restaurant, look around, where's the exits? Who's there? Who's sitting there? Who's lurking around outside? Are the people that work there paying it, like happy, nervous? What are they doing? Do they look like they're doing their job? Do they look like they're not doing their job, and they're, shaking or nervous or looking over to somebody else? Or anyway, long story short, pay attention to what's going on around you. Your safety is your responsibility.
And nobody else's. I want to add to a couple things. I can add a couple points to you guys. When we go to the grocery store, me and B goes together. My job's not to push the cart. My job's not to put stuff in the cart. I'm on duty, and my job's to protect my family. And so I'm paying attention to what's going on around me. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm going to do it every single time, especially with what's going on in our world. When you pull into a parking lot, you pull into Walmart, don't just jump out of your car. Look around, right? Look around. Look what's going on around you. When you're checking out at a cash register, is somebody watching you? Are they looking for what money's in your wallet? When you go into a restaurant, sit facing the door. Don't sit with your back to the door. Understand where the exit rows are. Guys, we have to be doing these things because this violence is coming for all of us. Now, I want to comment on a couple things that people have said up here real quick, just because Terminator wanted to know, Tag, what was that plane spraying over you guys? It wasn't over us. It was another farm that we were at. And after posting the video,
it was over us, but we were at
a different farm. Yeah. Many people came on and said it was just the exhaust, but it looked like to me it was spraying. So
it looked like it was spraying to me too.
Yeah. So I think that's super, super, super important. Kelly May says, Bubba always gets on me about paying attention. You guys, you have to do it. LJC says, or a taser or pepper spray. No, I'm going to tell you something. You get an LJC, you get an angry male who wants your purse. I'm going to tell you something. Your taser and your pepper spray can do shit.
I've pepper sprayed several things in my life, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I can tell you that, I was gassed in the gas chambers in the Army, as all soldiers are. And it sucked, but I could have absolutely fought my way out of that. And if I was mad.
My mom pepper sprayed the whole Sam's Club. Back when it was not Sam's Club, it was in Arizona, and they were big fans. And she set a big can of beans on top of her purse, and it was spraying the entire store. And we were like, and walking around, and it was getting worse. It was getting worse. This guy came over and started yanking stuff out of our cart, and found that she had emptied the bottle of mace and it was a big bottle inside of the store.
Yeah, and she's maced me inside with actual jalapenos. But my point I'm trying to make to you guys is you just got to pay attention to what's going on around you. Husbands, if you guys can manage a once a month shopping trip, I'm telling you, do it once a month and be there to protect her, because there are people being brutalized all over the world, and the mainstream media ain't covering any of it. I have to dig. I spend hours getting ready for these lives, trying to find all those little stories in all those little places, and the police are standing by and letting it happen. It's not important to them. And so if you're going to protect your loved ones, it's on you. To your ladies out there, you don't need a man to protect yourself. If you don't know how to fire a gun, go learn how to fire one. Carry one everywhere you go.
Pay attention.
Pay attention to where you're going. Have a means to defend yourself. Don't let your gas tank get under half tank. When you park in a parking lot, can you get out of there? If it was a big rampage and everybody was scrambling, you got to back out. Does someone have to be nice and let you in the circle? Right? Or can you plow your way out of there? You need to be thinking about these things everywhere we go as this world continues to erode. I think the final point I want to make to you guys before I get out of here is that we cannot comply our way out of tyranny.
Oh, right.
We can't. There is no way to comply your way out of tyranny. Hold the line. Don't give an inch. Tag and be out. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.
Good night.